are you, Gabriel?
I'm Dr. Richard Gallagher. I'm now a full professor of psychiatry at New York Medical College. So obviously I'm not a priest, I'm not an exorcist, I'm a doctor. The priest came, he wanted me to evaluate a person. She was a devil worshiper, and she claimed she had a variety of psychic abilities. So it was weird how I first met her. My wife and I were in our bedroom. It was about 3 a.m., and we had 2 cats, and they were well-behaved cats. They went berserk in a way that they never did again, never had done before. So we had to separate them, we had to put them in separate rooms. You know, we went back to bed. The very next morning, this priest brings Julia, and Julia looks at me with a smirk and says, "Nice to meet you, Dr. Gallagher. And by the way, how did you like those cats last night?" A few weeks later, I was in the car with the priest. Julia was in the back seat, and all of a sudden, out of her mouth comes this sort of guttural voice. "Listen, you effing priest, we told you to leave her alone. You'll be sorry. She's ours, she's not yours." A couple of weeks after that, the priest calls me on the phone. That same voice that I had heard from Julia in the back of the car came in the telephone line. It said, "We told you, you effing priest a-hole, leave her alone. She belongs to us, not you." So this is probably the only time in my life where the hairs on the back of my head went up. I remember thinking to myself, hey, that really can happen.
He wants to talk to you.
My name's Fred Batt. I'm a demonologist. I started studying the paranormal as a broad subject when I was about 14, and years and years studied ghosts, studied witchcraft. Witchcraft I studied more than anything. But then I wanted to look further into the darker side of it. And so I started studying the darker side, the demons. One place that really affected me when I went to a place in Prague called Castle Huška. Castle Huška in the 13th century was built there not to house anybody or do anything. Apparently the devil had appeared from a hole in the ground, and so the Cistercian monks covered the hole up and then built a chapel on top of it and then a fortress around it to keep this thing in. And nobody's ever lived there. And I walked in there and they locked me in the chapel in pitch black, and I started calling up Satan in Latin from this place where Satan had actually appeared from. All of a sudden, my briefcase, which was about 6 foot away from me, went over on its side. They came and got me out. I said, "Well, why did you do that? That's what I'm there for." I called Satan. I wanted to see him. You know, it's scary, really.
Stop saying that. Maddie, who are you talking to? Gabriel. Is he your imaginary friend? Imaginary friend? Imaginary? He's the devil.
Well, imaginary friends are not uncommon. A lot of kids have it. It's not even necessarily psychological disturbance. There's a wide variety of imaginary friends. Some kids, some kind of spirit is talking to them. There's a technical term for that. It's called a familial spirit. There are spirits, evil spirits, in my opinion, who will try to entice or act very friendly. If it is that type of spirit, you know, they're kind of lying and they're not really friendly. they often eventually turn on the person.
I'm seeing things. I'm seeing murders as they're happening.
Hello?
That has a long medieval tradition, that image of a demon sitting on your chest. We have one of the first autobiographies, actually, that was written in the Western world by a monk called Guibert of Nogent in the early 12th century. His mother had one of these experiences, and he describes it for us, that she woke up absolutely paralyzed with this hideous demon on her chest, pressing the air out of her, and she had to ask for the intercession of Mary to get it off her. Do I believe that there are sort of malevolent forces that I would rather not deal with? Yes, I do believe that there are malevolent forces that I would rather have nothing to do with.
They're sadistic creatures, and they like causing confusion, mischief. They like to try to corrupt people. They seem to take some kind of pleasure out of confusing and scaring people. It's a whole realm where you're dealing with entities who are not benign creatures.